Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing today? And welcome to the latest edition of Drew Mania Live. Nice to have you with us on this Wednesday, the 24th day of January, the year 2018. And of course, this is yours truly, Andrew L. Perry. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As always, coming to you live and at you from the busy streets of Brooklyn, New York. And today I am back inside the campus of Long Island University as I chat to you what's happening as far as the world of sports is concerned. Well, let's just put it this way. It's really nothing much going on. The Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. But that's when basketball start coming in, and it start with the All-Star game and stuff like that. I was thinking about what could I start the show off with today. We could start off with the Hall of Fame that Trevor Hoffman, Vladimir Guerrero, Chipper Jones has been selected into Professional Baseball Hall of Fame. I could talk about the All-Star game and the roster for the West, which makes absolutely no sense. What Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, let's be honest, has been quiet and nothing to show for, and been nothing for sure for it. But they get snubbed. But who really cares about the NBA All-Star game? To me, it's becoming a joke. But there is one thing I want to talk about. I do want to say on my mind is the New York Knicks. I mean, even I can't even talk about that. But you know what? I'm gonna forward back talking about wrestling. That's right, WWE wrestling. Not that TNA garbage. I'm not a fan of TNA at all. I don't care for TNA. To me, it's a reboot of WCW, and we know we know what happened with WCW. We know the story, okay? And the 25th anniversary of Raw, has been on the air since 1993, and it's really hard to believe when you stop and think about it. That a lot has changed, obviously, from wrestling, and I grew up watching a wrestling fan. So you know what? We could dive in that. I could spend a little time on that a little bit, as far as because a lot of people in this country certain people don't take wrestling seriously because it's the original rigged, okay, And I know I'm usually all over the place, and I'm I'm usually all over the place, so I'm gonna stick to one. I'm gonna do my best to stay on one topic at a time and get into a lot of back and forth and stuff like that. But here's my thing and I didn't see too much wrestling. As far as WWE is concerned in Brooklyn. Here's my thing. I don't understand. I get Brooklyn. They want to get Brooklyn involved because Brooklyn is a fresh and younger arena. Because Madison Square Garden, yes, is the world's most famous arena. But there's not enough wrestling in the world's most famous arena anymore. And I don't understand why everything always had to be in Brooklyn. Why everything has to be in Brooklyn? I'm asking. Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy that we have an arena in Brooklyn. But I like to see a mixture of both. Madison Square Garden, the Barclays Center. The Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden. Not everything has to be the Barclays Center. But I say this to say that. Let's get back to the show. The show wasn't that memorable, to be honest with you. It really wasn't. I mean, Stone Cold stunned Vince McMahon. I mean, come on. How many times we see that already? How many times we see that already? I am sick and tired. Every time I watch, I miss the. You know what makes wrestling great? The unpredictableness. And this day and age of wrestling, I don't see that anymore. Everything is freaking predictable now. Everything. And that's not how wrestling. That's not how wrestling, professional wrestling. That's not the professional wrestling I grew up, and this is not how professional wrestling is supposed to be. Wrestling, as far as I'm concerned, should not supposed to be predictable like you know it already. If I want to watch something predictable, and you know what's going to happen, I could have watched I could have watched Love and Hip Hop. But to sit here, watch WWE Raw and SmackDown and any other pay-per-view except for WrestleMania, any other pay-per-view, I hear wrestling fans with the same complaints. That it's predictable, it's bad, it's terrible, and this and that and the third. And honest to God, when at some point they're going to start listening to the fans. Whether at some point that wrestling, WWE executives, Triple H, when at some point they're going to start listening to the fans. And see the same crap year after year after year, year after year after year. And honestly, I'm getting to the point, enough is enough. And listen, I haven't watched a lot of wrestling. I'm going to be honest with you. But from this point in my life, I don't care for it. Yeah, because I have a lot of things to do. I don't care for it. There's nothing to get excited about anymore. Nothing. There's no unpredictable. There's nobody that's. Well, let me stop saying. Let me stop saying it's not exciting. There is one thing that I did like at her last night. Was Brock Lesnar getting his ass handed to him when Braun Strowman laid a smackdown in Rock's words to Brock the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. I'm gonna tell you this: Braun Strowman, if they don't make him champion at the Royal Rumble, he will be your champion at this year's WrestleMania. Mark that down. I think Strowman is a stronger guy and bigger, obviously stronger and a bigger guy. And Braun Strowman, as far as I'm concerned, could be the only guy who could step up to Brock Lesnar. They tried with Roman Reigns. Undertaker's too old. Undertaker was too old. All right. Randy Orton, it was a mismatch, let's be honest. But other than that, the only guy who could really, Braun Strowman is the only guy that could have seen that could step toe to toe with Brock Lesnar. He's the only one. And as far as Kane is concerned, Kane is not Kane anymore. Kane hasn't been Kane since he took off the mask, let's be honest. Because if it was the old Kane, oh, Brock Lesnar would have a fight as well. The two giants. But this day and age, Kane ain't scaring nobody no more. He's not intimidating nobody no more. Strowman is. And I hope they made Strowman the championship, because honestly, I'm starting to have it with Brock Lesnar. Seriously. Brock Lesnar hold on to the championship, and you don't see, and you barely see him wrestle unless it's a pay-per-view fighting somebody. He's not going to come to Raw. He's antisocial. And most importantly, more than 9 out of 10 times you have to wipe his ass. Let's be honest. So it really warms my heart to see somebody put Brock on his ass for once. And his name is Braun Strowman, and I hope he wins that title. Now, like I said, like I just said at the beginning of the show wasn't really that great. The show wasn't really that great, honestly. I know some of my good friends that went there and spent their money. Thank God I didn't. Because if I would have gone there and see this type of be disappointed, I'm raising hell. Now the big question is, but where wrestling is going at this point? I just wish wrestling would go back to, its original, whatever the case may be. But stop with the unpredictableness on wrestling. And on that note, that's going to do it for this edition of Drew Mania Live. For more information about my show, follow my show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And you can always, and as usual, what can I tell you? Catch my show every weekdays on 4 p.m., 4 or 3 p.m. right here on Spreaker.com. This is Andrew Perry, always saying to you, shalom, let peace go with you, and I'll talk to you in the next Drew Mania Live. So long, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.